G'day guys and welcome back to the JFBS SuperCoach channel. And today what we're going to go through is, I guess you could call it the cliche way of calling it, just the report on the rookies, the rookie report. Basically what I'm going to do this whole video is I'll talk about each rookie, and when I mean by rookie, I'm meaning 200k player and less. I'll talk about as many as I can in today's video. I don't want to drag it out too long like I did in the mid-price video of why I've got those guys that I've got. But we're talking about the rookies here. There's a lot of options to play with. Unfortunately, I feel like there should be more options at that 113, 119k range for defenders, which is a bit annoying, which means you have to probably spend less somewhere else around the ground. Same with around, midfielders, and forwards. These are just the players I've got for now. And I've got a list of players that couldn't make it to the team because I just literally just put guys that just names popped out and then went back and had a look and saw some more players. But once I finished the team on field, the list that I've got, and then I'll go through the rest of the 200k player list. So we'll start from defense onwards. Mind you, when I say rookie, I mean rookie price, not actual rookies, because Tom Duday is far from a rookie. Harry Dean, who is a rookie, second or third, I think it was the third pick overall. Yes, third pick overall or fourth, one of the two. Defender for Carlton, haven't heard much about him. We could probably search it up if we want. Oh my God, I forgot his name. Harry Dean. Is there anything that's been said? There's no news. Not since October, November. It's okay. We can have a look at his Rookie Me Central here. But he is a key defender, 194 centimeters. What were his strengths? So 15 disposals, 6 marks, which is nice. 1.5 contested. I think that's a rebound 50s, 2.8. A 64.5 fantasy. So we're probably not going to be getting quite much production from Harry Dean at that price. So I'm not going to have him personally. If you think that he'll be doing all right and you've kept a close eye on him, then go for your life. I just don't think that he's the right guy to have. I would probably rather have Tom Duday. So he's at 189k with Brandon Starcevic now out of Brisbane. In my opinion, there's a bigger problem with the replacement of Starcevic, in my opinion. And the first guy that kind of pops up to my head, who's similar, like but similar height, it's Tom Duday. So the problem is that is he going to be healthy enough to stand up and play that role? And I know Starcevic didn't play that much, but he averaged around a 50. And I think Duday had a 50 as well. Yeah, 50.1 played. Is it every game? Every game of the year. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. He missed a pretty decent chunk. I lied. I think he played in the grand final, which is different. Anyways, he was priced at 271k at a 50 average. If he can do that for Tom Duday, that's about, 90k? Not too bad. And if he can do a little bit above and beyond, that's even better. Could probably get up to 300k, which is really nice. But look, I think there's a lot of better options, which I'll get to in a tick, who are probably cheaper, if not a little bit more expensive. Dylan Patterson, one of the academy rookies that Gold Coast get, not that they get anything but academy rookies, but that's another conversation for another day. I haven't really heard much about him. Is there anything, what's his name? It's not Darren Peterson, Dylan Peterson. I keep getting mixed up with the, oh my God. Sorry. I keep getting mixed up with, what was it? Okay. Why is it not showing up? Okay. This is really annoying me. Oh, it's Patterson, not Peterson. Oh my God. Ignore me. Ignore me. Ignore me. Also nothing really. Nothing since. This is the annoying thing is that I have to get this off Twitter, and I can't be bothered scrolling because there's this one page Nerds for Life, which shout out to them, they're amazing. Um, but I haven't heard much about Patterson. I think he's a better option than Dean and Duday. I think he might be playing, like he might be not a lock round one, and like I know Gilland apparently might be. Patterson, I'm not too sure. We'll just see how it plays out. Xavier Taylor, a lot of people do get him, or do have him. Sorry, he's nowhere near my first choice. With all due respect to him, I think when you look at Melbourne's defense, it's pretty solid. It is pretty solid. Um, let's just filter defense Melbourne here. Got Bowley's out for a bit. You got Salem off one half back who's been doing well. I don't know what they're doing with Stephen May. Hopefully he does play, but even if he doesn't, I didn't want to click onto his thing. You've got Tom McDonald, you've got Jake Lever, you've got Disco Turner, who's excelled at that in the back line. You've got Jath, who will potentially, I hope he becomes a half backer and he can, use his pace. That would be nice, but it's going to be really hard for Xavier Taylor to really get into that Melbourne defence. So he's probably not my number one option. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and give you some recommendations. I wouldn't go for Xavier Taylor, in my opinion. If it's going to be similar to Harry Dean, where he's not as good as Harry Dean, and Harry Dean averages 64 average. Can we search up? Will this work? Hopefully, this is an actual one. Yeah, 191. Oh, he's averaged a 58. So yeah, basically a slightly worse. I don't like to say worse, but a slightly less, impactful than Harry Dean, just based off the fantasy numbers. Obviously, I don't know how they actually played. I don't watch. I don't watch the draftees with all due respect. Maniz Wakefield, I know I'd mentioned that it's going to be hard for Melbourne to try and fit him in, but I have a mate who goes for Melbourne, and he speaks pretty highly of Maniz Wakefield and how he could potentially be a half backer. Obviously, doing his ACL last year was very unfortunate. Once again, it's going to be hard to get into that Melbourne defence. I don't know what they're going to do, so we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. But I've got a couple of players in front, like Jai Sarong. Reports are saying from the Nerds for Life notes, which I heavily do advise you guys check him out, is that he is almost a lock for playing, in the sense that he's doing really well over preseason. So I'm going to have him in my squad. I recommend you guys have him in your squad. We've seen over the years how good that those Sydney defenders really progress. We've had Matt Roberts, we've had Riley Bice, we've had lots of players come out from the back and from that Swans defense and really, making bank for us, being notoriously known for great at being the best cash generators. Josh Lindsay, I haven't heard much, but when you watch his rookie highlights on draft night, which obviously was months ago, I think it's really important that he has a really good kick, and I think West Coast will utilise that. Definitely will be a talking point at the start of the season when it comes to who's going to be that halfback role for the Eagles, because there's obviously been the rumours, well, not the rumours, Tom McCarthy's been going into the middle. West Coast defenders. You got McCarthy, Baker kind of comes up halfback. Marich is in a weird situation. Duggan kind of does. Cole doesn't. Jinby is a lockdown. Hoffer's been injured, but he plays a bit of mid as well. And then you got Young and Brock, who are key defenders. So just based off that, I would have them over so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys at this current stage. We've got Lockie Carmichael. Is it Lockie? Yeah, Lachlan Carmichael. Obviously did his syndesmosis, I think, which takes him out for 5 weeks. Day I'm recording this, I think he did it last week. And when this gets posted, maybe in a few days, so maybe a week and a bit, just under 2 weeks. So another 3 weeks he really has to, 3 to 4 weeks where he can get back to full training. I think looking at that Dogs' other halfback, there was reports saying that he was doing really well, and potentially that might be a spot with Jason Johannesson retiring from AFL. So one to look out for when he comes back. Might be a thing where when the Dogs come out of their round 3 or 2 bye. Could be potentially Carmichael in the squad then. Dersma, obviously, when I said rookie price, it's the number one overall pick, unless I think everyone should have Dersma. It's kind of a tradition that everyone has the number one overall pick. Go figure, it's the best player in the draft. Normally. So he'll be a good option. It'll be interesting to where they play him, but I don't think it really matters where they play him. If it's forward, mid, back, he'll be decent. He'll make you money. Zeke Gilland might be playing wing, so that'll be decent for Gold Coast. We obviously saw Closey or Clohesi. I think it's Closey from. I'll search him up. Yeah, 346k. He made about 200k. He was the second or third highest of all time after the first 2 week span, where he made like 109k. Number one was Errol Gordon, but fun fact, at 122. So if that's the case, then we could definitely see Ewan get to about 350k, which is really nice, and at a good steady average as well. Hopefully it's around 75, 80, but there's so many points that get shared around that Gold Coast team. Not all of it's going to go to Ewan, unfortunately. Dan Annable, at this current moment, I don't see a potential spot for him at the moment. Just looking at the Brisbane team, very, very deep, which is great for Brisbane. It's a good problem that they've got. I'm sure they'll do something. Maybe they'll give him Levi's role, and Levi Ashcroft can be a bit more impactful in the middle potentially, and then Dan Annable is on the wing because Levi did pretty well on the wing last year. Annable definitely could do the same. Isaac Cumming, Sam Cumming from Richmond, my Richmond, loved his draft highlights. Didn't know this, but apparently he was projected the number one overall pick for this year's draft before he did his ACL. I think it wasn't this past year, but it was like maybe the year before. And he's kind of tanked, but that doesn't matter. He is a gun. Do I see him playing round 1 with Grill? Yeah, I can see it, but it's kind of hard to explain from a Richmond standpoint, telling someone else that isn't a Richmond fan. But it's hard to make up a team of guys you want to play because you're looking at a quarter of our list is 18/19, like 18-year-olds turning 19-year-olds and 19-year-olds turning into 20-year-olds. I'll list them off. How about that? You've got Sam Banks, who people would want. But if we're talking more young, McAuliffe is going to be tough. Brown even. Mansell, Lawler, Trezise, Trainer, Houghton, Rioli. Gray probably won't play, but hearing good things. Green. You want to see games out of him. Jonty Fall, Thomas Sims, Cumming, Grill, Armstrong, Ryan. Not that I rate him that high, but, with the new ruck rules, he might, or the new substitution rules where there's no subs, he might get in as well. Then you've got Alga, Rechko, Smiley, and then these last two, Piker and Roberts Thompson. Sorry, not Thompson. Like, there's so many names I've just listed off that are going to be trying to get into that best 24, like 23, which is really annoying. So, look, I do see them playing round 1, and I think they do see it over Rechko at the moment, even though I want to see Rechko on that wing. But they might play these guys on the wing, kind of similar to what Brisbane did with Levi Ashcroft and might do with Annable this year. But that's kind of but I'd also love to see Grill come off half-back. We've got Banks, Short, and then Grill. Like, you need a 3-way rotation. I know Luke Trainer can do it as well, but I kind of prefer him being a bit more deeper and, because he's, 195, very agile. I prefer that. 2 Western boys, Farrow and Sharp. I've heard really good things from the Farrow camp. looking like to be a round one lock, as well as Dyson Sharp. Definitely, definitely want to go. Want Dyson Sharp. I do have him in my squad, so yeah. Look, I'm looking forward to that. Will Brody now, as of recent, it's people are speculating that he won't get into the best side, which that's fair enough. Ollie Wines is out for the first two games. What else is there to really inform about Brody? He might not, like, he's just got to rely on injury, which is really tough at the start of the season. So, look, I've got him in my team at the moment, but that's just like a placeholder for now. He can easily get moved on. Sid Draper, I have in my forward line. I think I swapped him to Harrison. I'll tell you in a tick why, which isn't much of a reason. Anyways, look, with Dan Curtin now, kind of opens up that spot where I think Rochelle has gone into the middle, opens up a spot for Sid Draper. There's no sub rule anymore. If he cracks into that 22nd, 23rd spot, that's fine. Because I think they'd rather play him than like just a random guy, I'll be honest. Jagger Smith, I think everyone should have him on his on your own side. He's just too good to not have. I think he was the most owned last year, and then when he got injured, it was then Waller. So yeah, look, he should be the most owned this year. He'll be an absolute accumulator. I reckon he'll be at least 350k by the end of his money making, you know, cash generating run, I guess. Rechko. Now I'm kind of high on him, knowing that he was what second or third BNF for Geelong's VFL, and coming over and reading that coming over the Tigers and reading that he's like killing everyone when it comes to the running and all the fitness stuff, like the cardio stuff. Like Rechko, he is our future winger, which is great. He'll be our Camden McIntosh, which is good. He's already got Camden McIntosh's number. Vicentini. Now I've got him there for now, but I think it's Nick Bryan that's got the number one spot. And then I've heard about Blackiston, also potentially being the second ruck. So Vicentini's kind of out. I've got him there for now. Is there any other rucks there at that price? Like under 200k that looks okay. I mean, technically I can move Duff Heitler and Liam Reedy, who I can talk about as well, but I'm not a big fan of. I will just keep them there for now. But yeah, I probably wouldn't go with Vicentini. Lachlan McAndrews. So the big thing that we heard about Adelaide when it came to the new ruck rules is that apparently Riley O'Brien was getting a bit pissed off that of these new ruck rules, and he was getting a bit confused. He was looking a bit lost. The way he plays isn't really fitting the new rules. And apparently McAndrew is, the opposite of that. So he's actually been winning the ruck battle between him and O'Brien, especially when it comes to his leap. Not that I've seen him play, or I don't even know what he looks like, I'll be honest, but knowing that he can run and jump and Riley O'Brien can't, we could potentially see that with McAndrew. Kalani White, I just have him there. I don't think he'll actually play. Apparently, he's been playing up forward for Melbourne, so we could actually see him play a game or two. So it'll be interesting to see come round one or even preseason games as well. But it's nice to have that 99k ruck forward eligibility there. Cooper Duff Heitler. Now, normally when it comes to early ruckman, they always play them down forward. I'm not going to have him in my squad. I recommend you don't have him in your squad either, just because key forwards and key defenders as rookies don't necessarily do as great as these, midfielder type, like a Durs McEwen, potentially Cumming Grill, Annabelle. Like these midfielders are going to do so much better than Duff Heitler. And, Annabelle lower, they're all cheaper than Duff Heitler. And I think they'll average more. Sullivan Roby, I don't have him in my squad, even though I do like the look of him. I just don't think that he's just been a little bit injury prone. So I'm just going to stay away from there. Liam Henry, obviously not a rookie, but 160k might be on the wing now that they've kind of not necessarily their team's gotten less, like hasn't gotten weaker, but they signed Liam Henry to be the. I think it was a coming off halfback role, might be like that, but now he's I think a wing spot's good for him in my opinion. So hopefully he can bounce back after his injury-riddled season last year. Latrell Pickett, 154K from Melbourne, apparently is doing really well. So I don't have him because 154K, if I have that for a lot of these guys, it's just not going to work out. Max King, literally just have him just in case he is actually fit and healthy. I don't think he'll be decent, in my opinion. Todd Marshall, 147,900, is playing down back, taking kick-ins. He's in my squad. No further comments. Matthias Philippou, let's put you on instead of King. Matthias Philippou, 168,400. I've got in my squad. My weird little prediction, kind of hot take, I don't know what you call it, but he is potentially, I reckon he could definitely be your F6 or 7. So just look out for that, I reckon. That's just my little prediction. Harvey Harrison, I just spoke about, him and Draper, what, $100 difference? Whoa. Reason why I've gone with Harrison is because I've heard from people from Collingwood saying that, he'll play round 1. So I was like, that's great. He's in my squad. Harry Kyle, never really heard, I haven't heard much about him. And knowing that, excuse me, that Sarong is looking like securing a spot in that defence. And Sydney's got a pretty decent defence line, so I don't see Harry Cole getting there. Some other guys we can talk about. I feel like a guy that no one's really talked about that much is Bo Allen. I don't know where he fits in that Gold Coast, West Coast Eagles back line. It's a lot of mouths to feed there in the sense that, some of them might get pushed up midfield like Tom McCarthy or something like that. So he could get an opportunity, but for 152K, I think there's some better options there. We've got Oscar Taylor from GWS, 140K. I don't think he'll make the squad at all in the near future because I think he's an interceptor and they've already got Buckley and oh my God, what's his first name? Sam Taylor. They've already got Sam Taylor and James Buckley. Oh my God. Jack Buckley, sorry. Oh God, I'm horrible with names today. So he's going to be behind them and Leakalia as well. So I just don't see any chance of him playing that much. Next guy, Gibcus. I completely forgot. I probably should have had him out there. I reckon I'm going to try my hardest to get him onto my team, but look, I'll just see how the year plays out. I don't think he'll be extra special. He'll be the same as Harry Dean and Xavier Taylor, but he's 14, or is it not even 14, 18K and, what's that? Just under 60K less. I think he's more worth it. And he's got more experience. Not that that really matters because he's been injured a lot. Another guy that I forgot to put on my list is Leo Lombard. I've got in my team. It sounds like he's taken up the wing role for Gold Coast. Fantastic. I cannot wait. Not really much more to say. Good things I'm hearing about Jasper Alga. I don't really have much more to say. I don't think he wasn't like SuperCoach points impactful. Look, I'll search him up really quick. Oh my God, what's his name? I'm recording this not late at night, but 20 past 10 at the moment as I'm recording. I've just fallen behind. 62, 7, 12. Well, no, sorry. His highest was a 62. Average of 23. Starting sub in 2. Yeah, starting sub. Starting sub in 2, and then his highest was a 62. The other 2 was 12. Look, I know he probably didn't have that much time. 11, 59, 82, 81, and 37. So, look, an average of 10 over 3 games. Look, I just don't think it's worth it. There's better options there. Another Richmond guy. Let's go with Josh Smiley. I cannot seem to... Is it 2 L's? I didn't know it was 2 L's. I don't think he'll be healthy by round one, and I don't think he'll be. I think it'll take a bit for him to get in, so I wouldn't go that route. We got Jack Carroll from St Kilda. Now, I was looking. We can have a look at his thing because I saw on Twitter his last like 5 sub games. Let's go, Jack Carroll. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His last 6 AFL games, he has been the starting sub, if not get subbed off, and then the last one is just a complete fluke. I mean, they played West Coast. So, with that being said, 2025 only playing 3 games, average of 25, so nothing special. Going down in price, he's apparently playing a bit forward, so could be an interesting option there for you. I'm going to go with a no, unfortunately. We have got Finlay McRae from Collingwood going to West Coast this year. We'll see what role he plays, but the next guy I'll be talking about, I've definitely got in my team because it sounds like there's good stuff coming from him. But McRae, it's going to be the same thing. They're the same price as Dev Robertson, who I'm about to talk about. Look, it's whoever's playing round one. If they're both playing, it's not even a bad idea if I have both. Next guy, Robertson. Devon Robertson is playing, I think, wing. Correct me if I'm wrong, potentially in the middle as well. I'm liking the look of him. I've got him in my squad. I don't know much about Billy Cootie, but all I know is that he was a mature age rookie going into the draft. Billy Cootie here. Yeah, 23 years of age. Yeah, look at that for fantasy. Oh my God. So every game this year, and 97 average. Pretty decent. Well, like, and he's a midfielder. Does it say midfielder? Oh, it doesn't really come up. Would be nice, but oh well. I'm assuming it was a midfielder. My God, he had 169 for one game. Jesus. So it's just the basic stats that we get from. Oh my God. They're bloody Adelaide. The sample numbers. Anyways, potential guy to go for. I just don't see it, unfortunately. 12% of people have got this guy on their teams. I don't know why, but apparently a spot could open. I don't think so. Look, there's a reason why he was drafted really, really late and low. I think because it was a small injury and the fact that he's a bit of a slower rookie, a big body slower rookie, which they're trying to get, the AFL's trying to get away from that as well. Last I had on my list is Overston, small forward for North Melbourne. So not a bad idea for getting him. Better than getting a midfielder. But apparently he's doing all right. So wouldn't be mad if you got him. But just mind you, I think the main rookies you want are guys who are going to be accumulators. I don't think Doverston's going to be an accumulator. So those are the rookies I've talked about, the ones on the field and the ones I've got on my phone on notes. Let's have one last look at some players that I've potentially forgotten about. Just go. There we go. Butler might play. Don't know about Steele. Gross, I might think he might play. Gruzevsky, nah. Jordan Boyd, I remember him. He was doing a bit. Taylor Adams, he's just super injury prone. Apparently, he went to the hospital last weekend. So, as the day I'm recording this, so what, the weekend of the 23rd to 25th, he was in hospital. So, not really good. Or maybe the week before. So, yeah, I hope he's doing all right. Butler, no. People going Cooper Simpson. I haven't read much about him, so I'll have to, do a little bit of research there. Jake Rogers at 179k. Going to say no to the Camporellis. Ace Whitlock, no. Maley, no. O'Connell, I think he's the Irish guy that got hit by Mansell last year, but going to go with a no. Lewis Hayes got injured last year. Wouldn't go Armstrong. McCarthy's interesting if he can somehow crack into that squad. I mean, to be fair, Archie's gone, so might open it up for him. I've heard some good stuff from Hugh Bond, so that was from the Adelaide camp very early on, though. Lance Collard, Samson Ryan, Paddy Dow, Johnson, Tunstall. No one that's really popping out, I'll be honest. Jackson Archer, unfortunately, out for the whole year. Cochrane, I think there's something wrong with him, like as in injury-wise. Yeah, like a leg injury. Lafau, a few people had Lafau earlier on, but nah, just wouldn't go there. Sturt, I can remember him a couple of years ago. He was like, he could be a nice third tall, but that's not the case anymore. Nick Cox, I didn't really talk about. If he can stay healthy, I guess he could play, but look, I think it's just a little bit soft in my opinion. With all due respect, I love you, Nick Cox. Gallup sometimes plays. I don't know. Jefferson, was that the guy that was like super short? I can't think of him, but he was like a 99k rook and people jumped on him pretty early. Anyone else that I can think of now that we get into this rest of this list? Oh, Liam Reedy, I didn't talk about. I can't believe I missed him. 119k 900. I did see a little bit of vision before Christmas, but look, a lot of people are saying online, which I'll tend, most of my opinions will be based off these guys and kind of based off like then kind of reevaluating it myself. His one game where he played in the WA versus Fremantle game. Oh, sorry, not WA. Holy shit! I mean the Indigenous All Stars versus Fremantle. He was the starting ruck for Fremantle and only had 16 hit-outs against Cohen Livingston. So that just goes to show how much impact he had at an AFL level. Hopefully he improves. And if he plays round one over Pitnet, which I don't think it looks like it is, I'll definitely pick him, that's for sure. But I don't know. He might be the... Oh, who's the St Kilda ruck who played last year? Oh, he was 99k, played the first game, never played again. Super slow. Someone will tell me. Anyone else? Tom Edwards, the teacher. I think he was a teacher. No one here. Shout out Ben Jepson. Lombard, I've talked about. I've actually heard Jepson might be given a wing spot potentially. Any other guys? None that are really popping out to me. Callum Coleman Jones, Richmond legend. Clark, if he can get healthy, that'd be amazing, but I just don't see it happening. Is there anyone else I can go over? Please, SuperCoach, just give me a couple guys I can talk about, please. Just doesn't look like it. Yeah. Apparently Piker and Roberts Thompson's not doing too bad. And Philippou and Max King maybe might not be doing too bad. I'm not sure. Now we get into the 99k rookies. Toby One Kenobi. But I think that is it. Yep. That's going to do it for me. That has a long... it's probably less than 34 minutes. But on my clock it says 34 minutes, 13 seconds, which is quite a long time. So... if you got through the whole video, shout out to you. Thank you very much. Hopefully my voice isn't too annoying now that you've heard it for 30 minutes, let alone all the other videos I'm posting, which I'm going to be doing a lot. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Let me know if I didn't really talk about some of these rookie price guys in depth as much, or if there's a guy that I talked a little bit too much in depth and you're like, nah, you've not sold me at all, then let me know. Let me know anything. I'd love some feedback. I'm very open to feedback. So, yeah, that's going to do it. That's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.